In this video, you will find out everything that you need to know regarding the Gravitas / Kyuseido Kakari fountain pen. Welcome back to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host Aaron from Pen Venture. I have my voice destroyed, but anyway, I will not pass the opportunity to do a video regarding Gravitas on St. Patrick's Day. In this one, I'm going to tell you everything that there is to know regarding the one and only Kyuseido Kakari. This fountain pen has been drawing a lot of questions ever since we started to collaborate with Ben Walsh. A lot of you asked me to do a video regarding this specific fountain pen, but before doing a proper review, which I think is going to be way too long to explain every single detail that there is regarding this fountain pen, I said let's do this one like a tour guide regarding the Kakari, everything that there is regarding how to clean it, how to disassemble it, how to put it together, how to use it, how to fill it with ink, because a lot of you asked me, Emmy, how do I use this fountain pen? So this has a very interesting filling system, which for people that are not accustomed to anything outside pistons, vacuum fillers, cartridge converters, fountain pens may sound just too much to handle. But anyway, it's very simple, and I think the best way to demonstrate everything regarding this filling system and how you can just get joy from using it and also get practicality is to do it inside a video in which I'm going to demonstrate everything. And let's start with basic stuff. Why Kyuseido and Gravitas in a single name? Well, this fountain pen is the result of a collaboration, teamwork effort of CI and also Ben Walsh. This is why you're going to find some versions of it available at Gravitas and some versions available only on CI's website. What I want to showcase starting with this Kyuseido, it's how brilliant it is, the use of materials, how just multifunction is this fountain pen and its filling system, show you how to explode the fountain pen in every single part, then put it back together, and finally how to use it, or better said, how to fill it with ink and how to wash it. So let's proceed first with the fountain pen from Gravitas, because this blue version of it is available only at Gravitas, and it's this beauty right here. It's available in two finishes. So we have this one, which is the machine one, a little bit more polished, and we have another one which is a little bit more satin. Both versions are available only with Ben Walsh. Since we're going to work with ink, water, grease and everything, we're going to base this on the version which is machined, my personal fountain pen. So let's begin. We have the cap, the piston knob, barrel untwists, and we have the nib right here with the section. We have no clip on this fountain pen, and it is very smooth to uncap the Kakari, because inside the cap we have a Delrin sleeve. In this way, these threads right here, which is the threads of the capping system, are going straight into Delrin, not metal. So this is why it's feeling very smooth. 14 karat gold nib. So this is the Gravitas gold nib. This is something which is very interesting, because this is done by Ben's specifications, his measurements, his choice of gold alloy, the shape, the tipping. What I want to point out regarding these nibs is that they run a little bit above the size mentioned on this nib. So a fine will ride like a fat fine, and the medium will be a little bit more close to the broad, and so on. So if you like fine points, go with an extra fine, and if you like a little bit more broader points, its range goes all the way up to a double broad, which feels very smooth, very wet, and like a triple broad. On this nib you will find stamped the Gravitas logo, fine 14 karat gold. Turning the fountain pen like this, we're going to be facing the heat set ebonite feeder. And I know that this feeder looks like plastic, but hear me out. This is high-grade Japanese ebonite, and this is machined in such a intricate and precision a way of machining this ebonite feeders. It's that they look flawless. And I had a lot of people asking me, Emmy, is this ebonite feeders? And yes, it is ebonite feeders, and you will find these feeders with any Gravitas gold nib. So ultimate vac fountain pens with a gold nib, you will have this similar nib and also ebonite feeder just as well. We have the section and this is made from titanium, like any single part of metal which is outside of the fountain pen. This is made in high grade titanium by Ben with a beautiful blue finish. Then we have the barrel of the fountain pen, which actually is made of optical grade cast acrylic. And have a look at this, because this fountain pen has not been inked, so you can clearly see how beautiful and aesthetic is this acrylic. This is polished to a perfection level, to say so. It's very clear, and to the best of my experience with this fountain pens, is almost impossible to stain. I have not experienced staining on this fountain pen ever. Piston knob right here, just like the rest of the parts made out of metal which are outside, this is made also in titanium. Everything that you will find inside the fountain pen which is in contact with the ink itself, it's made from high grade stainless steel, which actually is very resistant to corrosion, so you can throw in there a lot of weird inks without having any single problem with corrosion. Overall, those are the parts of the fountain pen. Now let me show you how would you take apart this fountain pen and put it back together. We're gonna remove the cap, and then if you want to go simple, just for washing and maintaining it daily, you can just unscrew the barrel from this section, and you can clean this with a bulb syringe. I have one right here, so have a bulb syringe right here, and you can put some water in it, and you can flush this very easy. In the process, cleaning the nib just as easy as any other cartridge converter fountain pen. So bonus points on practicality. If you want to go a step further and remove the nib altogether, it's just like a curse. Every single time I'm looking for to have this rubber thing that I grip the nibs just to not touch them with my fingers, I keep not finding it, and this is one of those moments. Anyway, let's get back. So you can grip the nib like this, and you can unscrew just like any other part of this fountain pen, and you get access towards the nib unit altogether. So it's a plastic nib unit. It has these two O-rings which are there to keep the ink from getting into the section or just simply leaking from this end towards the lip of the nib unit. So it's very thoughtful from Ben to use this, and also it is threaded just like any other JoWo nib unit. So you can install a JoWo size 6 steel nib unit altogether inside this fountain pen just as well. The fact that this section is threaded to allow the insert of such a generic option like a JoWo size 6 nib unit, it's brilliant, because it's going to allow you the practicality of using this fountain pen as a platform to just install a variety of different nibs in it, different nibs from different brands. So this way you have a little bit of tinkering to do, like get a specific housing which is going to be allowing you the conversion from a different brand of a nib inside a JoWo one, and basically you just screw it in and it's ready to go. Another point which I want to show you is that right here we have an O-ring which is going to keep the ink inside, but look closely. Here you have a little bit of distance in between this end and also the top of the feeder. This is very interesting because the rubber gasket which sits on the tip of the rod is going to insert there and close that, and it's going to work like any double reservoir from Ultimate Vac. And also it's very similar to what Visconti is calling the double reservoir feature. So basically, if you are on an airplane and if you want to lock the ink behind there, you can do that, and this way you're not going to risk having the fountain pen, even with the nib down, burping ink. So this is a very nice feature. So you can take a Q-tip like this one and you can remove every single aspect of the moisture or the leftover ink marks or the residue from inks. As you can clearly see, I had a blue ink, so there is small residue which is not visible with the naked eye still on the walls of the barrel inside. And when you put this Q-tip and turn it and apply a little bit of pressure, you can just take all of that ink particles outside of the fountain pen, and now you have a clean fountain pen. If you want to grease the fountain pen, I'm gonna use a toothpick with a little bit of silicone grease. You can go inside there, do something like this. Well, I think I applied a little bit too much of silicone grease, but we can take it with this Q-tip and we can collect some of it. I'm gonna use a fresh one and just take some of the excess off, and it doesn't need so much silicone grease. A little bit goes a long way. So let's just check to see if everything is working. Yep, everything works just fine. And now let's put back the fountain pen. Now let me talk you through the process of inking the Kakari. And for demonstration purposes, I chose some water with some green ink because why not? It's St. Patrick's Day, so let's celebrate. And I'm gonna just show you from the above how you would go about filling this pump piston filler. So we have a lot of words: pump piston filler. This filling system, it's going to work both as a piston filler and also both as a pump filler. If you want to ink the fountain pen from this stance right here, so it's clean, there is no ink inside, you would unscrew the piston knob, then you would retract this rod all the way up. Now I'm going to zoom in to show you how to catch the piston or how to engage it. Right here you can see that we have some pins and those need to get into those locks, and I'm going to guide you through. So like this, we are attached by the piston, which sits threaded at the base plate close to the end of the barrel. Now we need to unscrew that piston in order to make it available to glide in the barrel. And how do we do that? Well, it's very, very simple. We are going to unscrew counterclockwise until the piston starts to break free from the threads right here on top. I think in this position we can start to work with the piston and it's going to glide. In order to draw ink, first things first, we need to expel all of the air which sits in front of the piston. With the piston standing all the way down and close to the section, we're going to be in need of ink. Just to not make a mess of my desk, I'm going to use some water with a little bit of green ink inside to demonstrate how this will work. You need to submerge the nib and a little bit of the section all the way in ink, and you can draw all the way up in this position. In this position, you will have the entire barrel of ink completely filled. And this is how you would use it as a pump filler. The next step would be to disengage from the piston and to leave it screw in at the base right here. How you would do that? Very simple. You would grab the piston knob, start to screw in and also pull by it, and you will see how the piston starts to catch on the threads. Don't go too far. As soon as it starts to require a little bit of force, that means you are completely at the top. Now we need to disengage from those locks. Let me zoom in and show you this close. You would start to find a way to take those pins outside of those locks. So now we are free. From this position, you would go to take the rod all the way down, but do that above the ink bottle like this, because you would find out that there is some drops of ink which are going to be coming down. This is very interesting because this way the fountain pen is going to be very, very nicely primed and ready to write from that specific moment. So you would not need anything else to prime the feeder and to have the ink in the feeder and to start writing. With the barrel full of ink, this is how you can use it as a pump filler. And if you want to use it as a piston filler, well, as a piston filler, that implies that not the entire barrel of ink is going to be filled. Let's just remove half of a barrel of ink like this. And now let's try to disengage. As we are going to disengage the rod from the piston head, we just can screw this like so, and voila, now it works like any single other piston filling fountain pen. And the ink is going to be in the lower part right here, and there will be a little bit more space left behind the piston. This is not the way I use this filling system, but you have the practicality aspect of using it with a full barrel of ink or a little bit of the ink, just like any other piston filling fountain pen. Pretty much that's it. I hope this video is going to be useful for you out there which are already owners of the Gravitas Kyuseido Kakari, or if you consider having one of these fountain pens and till this point it looks a little bit too much to handle, too complicated. I hope that my video it's going to be explanatory enough for you to give it a try and to have one of these fountain pens in your personal fountain pen collection. Let me know if you have any single other question in the comment section down below. If you find my content useful and if you like what you see at Pen Venture, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. This will help me a lot with the YouTube algorithm and everything else. Don't forget, if you are interested to acquire your next writing instrument from Pen Venture, just scroll down, you'll find the details for our website, our social media accounts, phone number, email, anything and everything that you may need in order to get in contact with me, and I will help you out with that purchase. I know that so many of you that are watching right now are not subscribed to the Pen Venture YouTube channel, where we have fun, educating, and very interesting fountain pen content. If you want to subscribe, it's very easy. Just click there, turn on notification bell on, and you will be notified whenever we have new content. Speaking about content, if you want to continue watching my previous videos, I'm gonna leave you this right here. You can click and enjoy. As always, I'm your host from Pen Venture. I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care, stay safe, write on.